Hey everybody, welcome to Monster Monday for December 14th, 2020. I'm your host, DM Gallibond. And let's go visit our favorite party. Fred the Fighter, Connie the Cleric, Rachel the Rogue, Wally the Wizard. We find them with some well-deserved downtime, and they are relaxing at one of their favorite inns. And Fred the Fighter is regaling other patrons with a tale about their early days of adventuring. Yeah, we were down in Chult, and we were running for our lives from this Grunga village. You know, we were just walking through there, and we found what we thought were these abandoned huts. And we got up there, and then out of the water leaped all these crazy colored frog people, and they started trying to stab us and shoot us, and we just ran into the woods, and we're running through the jungle, and I don't know how long we ran, but you know, Rachel had been hit by a poison dart, and she was I was having to half carry her. Uh, Connie was out of spells. Wally just threw up some kind of illusion that maybe delayed him a little bit, but he didn't have much of anything left, and I was wounded. And so we finally got to a place where we couldn't hear the sounds of pursuit anymore. And so we decided to take a rest, and I put Rachel down, and Connie started tending her wounds. And then we heard a noise. And Wally, rare moment of being actually stealthy, he kind of peeks around. He looks, he says, it's just some damn bird. Just some damn bird. This 8-foot tall bird with an axe on its face starts attacking us and nearly killed us, nearly finished us off. What the grungs hadn't been able to do. And that, friends, that was the first time and the last time, fortunately, we ever saw an axe beak. Hey everybody. For December 14th, 2020, Monster Monday, yes, is about the Axe Beak. I'm your host, DM Gallibond. Please go check out, uh, please go check out Mo over at the tabletopbellhop.com, the OG when it comes to anything for tabletop games. And if you feel like supporting the work that we do, there is a Patreon over at patreon.com/dmgallibond. All right, we are talking about the Axe Beak, and this image, it doesn't look like an image from D&D Beyond. That's because it's not. That's because they have let us down. They did not give us a 5e image of the Axe Beak. So I had to go all the way back to AD&D, first edition, the monster manual, and find this image for you. However, there is an image of the Axe Beak from 5e, but just not an official image from a um, from the Wizards of the Coast. So, what is an axe beak? An axe beak is a prehistoric carnivorous flightless bird. They are very fast runners and aggressively hunt during daylight. An axe beak resembles an ostrich in its lower portions with a strong neck and a heavy, sharp beak. Uh, Memory serves from watching Wild Kingdom as a kid. Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. Uh, Ostriches are not that friendly. They kind of have a nasty temper. So I think maybe the people who designed D&D were looking for a monster to fill in a niche and said, what would happen if we made an ostrich but put a big weapon on its face? And they came up with the axe beak. All right. Here is that 5e unofficial image I talked about. Axe Beak Lore. Axe Beaks are said to be able to run faster than horses. Native to the jungles of Chult and the deserts of Kalam, Shano, and Faerun, Axe Beaks can be adapted to many climates. Some warlike humanoids are even able to train young Axe Beaks to be mounts as they grow into maturity. And this image comes to us from the Forgotten Realms wiki. You can go over there, and this is purported to be a rendition of the attack on Tribor, where I believe it was the Ice Shield Orcs came running into town riding Axe Beaks. Oh, yes, this is lore. Oh, yes, Mr. and Ms. DM. If you introduce Axe Beaks into your campaign, be prepared, because you know you have that furry feather lover at your table. You know the one I'm talking about. The minute you put Axe Beaks there, they're gonna be, oh, I want one. Can I have one as a pet? Please, can I have one as a pet? Can I have one as a mount? Oh, I want one as a mount. Oh, please, 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 Mr. DM, please, Miss DM, please, 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 please. You know that's going to happen. So just be careful if you ever put those in your game, because you're going to have to deal with that. And that's your problem, not mine. That's yours. All right. Axe Beaks. They are beasts. And beasts, as we know from the lore of D&D, they're kind of the natural creatures that creep into the monster manual. Now, when I say natural, I mean natural for the game world that you're in. So there's still some pretty fantastical things, and some of them are kind of magical. But for the most part, they're non-humanoid creatures that are a natural part of the ecology. Some of them have magical powers, but most of them are unintelligent and lack any kind of society or language. Beasts include all varieties of ordinary animals, dinosaurs, and giant versions of animals. All right. Mechanical features of the Axe Beak. Well, as you can see here, there is a long history of the Axe Beak, but there's actually not a lot of history to the Axe Beak, paradoxically, because they have only appeared in 2 editions of the game. Let us go back here and look at the first time they appeared, which was in the first edition Monster Manual, the AD&D Monster Manual. So, hey, you recognize this image? That's where I got it from. They had armor class 6, not great, not awful. 3 hit dice, 3 attacks, 1d3 with each of those claws, and 2d4 with that beak. Animal intelligence, standard, 7 foot tall. And hey, guess what? The description that I used, right out of this one, that's all they give you. They give a picture, a little stat block, and that. You figure it out. That's what you do with it. Well, they have come back in 5th edition, and 5th edition, they're going to give us a lot more on the Axe Beaks, aren't they? Aren't they? Aren't they? No. Sadly, no. 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 Not really. In this edition, armor class 10, hit points 19, 3d10 plus 3. So they're still 3 hit die monsters with a con bonus. Their speed, 50 feet. Okay, so they run fast. Passive perception, 10. Their animal intelligence of 2. And they only get 1 attack. They don't get 3 attacks. They only get 1 attack. Plus 4 to hit, and 1d8 plus 2 slashing damage with that beak of theirs. And it's a strong flightless bird with strong legs and a heavy wedge-shaped beak. Has a nasty disposition and tends to attack any unfamiliar creature that wanders too close. And officially, that's all they give us on the Axe Beak. That's all they give us. I was a little disappointed, but it's like, okay. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do, Wizards of the Coast. You just want to kind of leave us hanging there. I can work with this. Let's take a look a little bit more. with the Axe Beak. See how we might use an Axe Beak in an encounter. Okay, so how do you create a hard or challenging encounter with these creatures for a party of 5 PCs by level? And because these creatures are only CR 1/4, you have to use 5 of them to challenge a party of 5 level 1 PCs. So, if you put 5 Axe Beaks in an encounter against 5 PCs with the PCs at level 1, that's a borderline deadly challenge. Uh, if the party is level 2, 5 Axe Beaks become a medium challenge. To make it a hard challenge, add a Deinonychus, which is like a CR1 or CR1 half dinosaur. Why a dinosaur? Well, because I like to try to build encounter groups with creatures of the same type, so beasts, and because Axe Beaks are prehistoric, dinosaurs make a nice thing. So you find them naturally occurring in Chult. You do find them out in the desert and other places like that as well in Faerun. But, if they're supposed to be prehistoric, then yeah, dinosaurs is good. And then when your party is level 3, 5 Axe Beaks are an easy challenge. You want to make it a little tougher? Go ahead and add an Allosaurus. All right, so that's how you could use them in encounter. So they're going to be a low level encounter. They're not going to be anything that challenges a party um, that has any seasoning on them. They just kind of the party just sort of mow right through these guys. All right, now how would you place these in campaigns? Well, as prehistoric beasts, Axe Beaks could be a good first creature that your party encounters if you're going to do some sort of timey-wimey plane shifting setting type thing on them. Um, you know, uh, Axe Beaks might be a good way to signal to your players that, hey, we're not in Kansas or whatever fantasy realm you normally travel in anymore. You have a campaign where there's some sort of supernatural or extra-dimensional event that relocates the players without them realizing they're no longer in a typical fantasy setting. Having a flocks of Axe Beaks rush them and attack might be a good clue. So, um, you know, I I have not done that where I moved the setting on my players without the players knowing it. All of the transitions that we've done in my campaigns are ones where the players realize what's going on and are willing participants in going to another plane, or at least they understand they're being taken to another plane. It's not like, you know, some cosmic weirdness happens and then everything around them is changed. It's, now we're being teleported, and hey, guess what? We're heading to Ravnica. Or hey, guess what? We're heading to Kamigawa. Or hey, guess what? We're heading to Innistrad. They know where they're going. All right, but if you have a reason which works with your game, and the main reason I haven't done this is I just don't have any reasons that work with my game. But if you have a reason that works with your game, where there would be a plane shift or a time shift or a dimension shift or something like that, and your players 1 minute are in kind of a typical medieval fantasy setting, and the next minute they're in a prehistoric setting without realizing they've gone to the prehistoric setting. Axe Beaks can be a nice way of introducing that setting to them. Followed by one of these guys, of course. All right, reskinning. How would you reskin the Axe Beak? It's a fast predator with a single attack. Its beak, which you could reskin as any reasonably swift and aggressive kind of creature that would fit in a niche of a CR 1/4 monster. If you want to keep it in the prehistoric milieu, you could bring in some kind of dinosaur that you like from your visits to museums or watching Jurassic Park that hasn't made it into the 5e rule books yet. Okay, I'm thinking typically of those raptors, and I don't know if the velociraptors are in 5e D&D or not. And velociraptor is actually kind of a I think that's a name that they made up for the movie. I don't think scientists called them, or fossil hunters called them. Paleontologist is the name I'm trying to look for. Thank you very much. I don't think paleontologists call them velociraptors. I could be wrong. They probably have some Latin name. However, um, you could say, okay, moderate sized creature. The only attack that it has is its bite, and it's really damn fast. And just change it and reskin it and have it that way. If you're not in a prehistoric setting and you need something that runs fast and bites, okay, there could be some kind of lizard creature or some kind of other bird creature or something like that that's kind of weird that um, fits a similar profile. And, heck, it doesn't even have to be something that runs on legs. It could be something that floats along the ground if you're in that kind of a campaign where, you're sort of dealing with some creatures that are corporeal and some that are non-corporeal and whatnot. So yeah, you could go to town with it. All right. Well, sadly, of course, there's no Q&A because we're not live tonight. And so I'll just go on into the wrap up. I have been DM Gallibond. This has been Monster Monday on the Axe Beak. On my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Gallibond, you can find Sundays at 2 p.m., The Walker of Waterdeep. Thursdays at 8 p.m., The Sword Coast Chronicles. And Saturdays, I need to update this slide at 7:30 p.m., not 7 p.m. The Lost Mind of Original D&D. It's correct on my Twitch slate, and it's correct on the announcements that I send out before the games, but it's not correct on here. All right, and all the archives of everything you can find on YouTube, and this episode, sadly, the only place you can find it on is on YouTube because I wasn't able to do it live. All right, that's going to do it for me. And I'll sign off as I always do by reminding you to watch out for the monsters under the bed. Good night, everybody.